Hello, everybody.
Hey!
I'm Kenneth.
I'm Lindsay.
And we told you guys earlier this week that we would give you just tell you our story. We celebrate our 11th year anniversary on May the 28th. And again, we do appreciate everybody and thank everybody for the anniversary.
Thank y'all.
Shout outs, prayers, whatever you did, we do appreciate it. Again, 11 years or 1 year marriage should always be celebrated.
Exactly.
Celebrate the moment. It's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Everything he made was good and very good.
Especially marriage is great.
Indeed.
If you can survive 3 months, hey, celebrate.
Yes. A little of the story. Let's see. I'm 36. We both 36 years old, and Lindsay has always been my friend. Even as a kid, we had a special bond. I don't think I remember having any other bond with another female like I had with Lindsay. When we talked, I didn't sound crazy to her, and she didn't sound crazy to me. We had a lot of similar desires as far as natural ambitions and spiritual desires, the places we wanted to grow in God. And plus, she was gorgeous on top of all of that. So I knew Lindsay would be a friend for life.
Amen. His friend.
We actually grew up together. We grew up same city, went to the same church, went to the same high school, probably shopped at the same stores, IGA, Fred's, Kroger's, TJ Maxx, Save-A-Lot.
Right. I mean, the population of Gallatin. Gallatin is a really small area, so.
Gallatin, Tennessee, born and raised, GHS. Whoop, whoop. So this is what's up. We grew up together, we were really good friends, but I always secretly liked Lindsay. Ever since I was small. It's weird. But I literally always liked this chick. I mean, I never had a girlfriend, but I always secretly liked her through the stages of puberty where she had acne.
Started getting acne, like just one day out of nowhere.
Yeah, and a Jerry curl.
You get twirl, swirl, curly your curls with classy curls.
It's in a class by itself.
Long
I thought she was fine. I would just be sitting there looking at her. I just think she was the bomb. As we would say back in the day, the bomb. As far as just the association in church. But that particular side of just like male, female, like you, cuteness and that, it was nowhere in her mind. Because even just being real young, I was real immature.
You're so immature! Me? Really?
Yes, honey. Real immature. Yes.
I grew up just a church boy, so it was me, it was Jonathan Williams, Aaron Dow, Jason Kelsey, Brandon Carey.
Yes. I hope y'all were watching.
Nick Dow, all of us, we were just immature. We would be in church and we would laugh at like just dumb stuff. I mean, we would go on church trips, little church conventions, and my boys would always have little girls following after them. But I was always...
Oh, wait, excuse me, which ones?
My friends.
Your friends had little...
My...
Don't call them out, don't call them out.
What?
Jay Warner, I hope you were watching because I may need you to witness some things for me today, okay? So I hope you on here.
So anyway, so it started off like this. So again, I secretly liked her, and we would just always, she was friends with my sisters, and so she would just come by, it's almost by association. We just had a connection though, a bond. I don't know what it was. Maybe God always knew what's going on, but he knew what was going on in the future. So I guess he wanted us to have a good foundation.
So Kenneth is the 5th child out of 6.
No, I'm the 2nd child of 6.
It depends on which way you go, from the beginning to the end. Tracy had 6 of them. Shirley had 5 of them. So he is the 2nd oldest. He's the 2nd oldest, and I'm actually next to the baby. I'm number 4 out of 5. So Kenneth has 3 sisters, and we were always friends. Just a lot in common, like you said earlier, same church, same everything. So we see each other all the time. So I had a friendship with his sisters, which led me to have a friendship with him. Kenneth's friendship to me was like a breath of fresh air. To have somebody to think the same way you did. I mean, it was definitely reassuring to me to let me know I wasn't as crazy as I thought. I was not a crowd follower. I don't feel like I was a people pleaser. And to know that I had somebody that thought the way I did, it was just like a breath of fresh air. Like I said, never once did he disrespect me. He was always had a great listening ear. I mean, he was just like that perfect friend. So I really sincerely had a friendship, y'all. I didn't have any attraction, anything else. Now, him was a little bit different, but.
Yeah, so I secretly loved her.
Secretly.
I mean, it was just, but I think she knew, so on the DL, she knew, and probably everybody I associate with knew that Kenneth liked Lindsay. I mean, it was always, I wasn't into really nobody else. I had female friends, but Lindsay always had my heart.
Everybody loves Kenneth. Even to this day, women love to talk to Kenneth. So this is going to lead me to another point, and I don't want to get off, but he has a special gift. And spouses, you have to recognize a gift in your spouse so you won't become jealous or envy. But women feel really comfortable talking to him, and I recognize that. So, go ahead. I just had to say that.
I don't believe that. I mean, I just talk to anybody. But anyway, it was probably, I think it was maybe we were about 16, maybe 14, 15, probably about 14, 15 years old. I mean, just when you really start thinking about being in a relationship. So I started giving Lindsay more attention because I really wanted her to notice me. And so this chick right here, her beautiful self, broke my heart. That started me on the journey. As she just came to me one day and said, listen, I know you interested in me, but right now I'm not interested in nobody. I'm not trying to get in a relationship. So if you want to get with me, it's not going to happen right now. It's probably never going to happen. So you just feel free to explore your options. So I went home and I just cried like a baby. I was one of them ugly cries. But only just me and God can see. I was just like bawling. One day I cried and I said, God, I think it was one day, it could have been several days, I don't know. But I said, God, I ain't said nobody else. It's just gonna be me and you. And so just that literally helped focus my journey, I guess you would say.
Very good.
You mean. So
I'm glad you got focused, babe, because if you would have been unfocused, I would not be sitting right here right now. So.
I mean, in retrospect, I wasn't really ready for a relationship either.
He wasn't.
It was just the theme in the air. You know, your friends start talking to people, and then you old enough man, so you want to get in a relationship.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt. I'm not really good with themes, and I'm not really good with following. I'm sorry.
Following the crowd.
Yeah, following the crowd. I feel like I've always been my own person. Just because y'all were singing chorus, Joanna, I don't want to stay in chorus because I don't like singing anymore. So I got out of chorus. I'm just using that. But for me, it wasn't a thing. It's marriage and courtship is very important. So I felt like I was more mature at the moment. And it wasn't my intentions to break his heart, but because we're friends and we're transparent, that's what friends do, they can talk. So when I began to realize that he wanted to take the relationship to another level, me being so mature, because I valued our friendship, I went to him and just let him know that, look, I wasn't ready. I had a lot of other things going on. Fresh out of high school, I don't know if I had completed hair school. Now, I might have been finishing hair school. I don't even know if I had purchased my car yet. So it was a lot of things on my list that I was trying to do independently before I wanted to involve myself in someone else, and just even getting to know who I was and getting closer to God at the time. So that's why I went to him. He said I broke his heart, but I felt like it was friendship. I was his friend, so I felt like I could have told him what was really going on, and I didn't want him to feel like I was leading him on or taking advantage of him. None of that. That's not who I am. So That's just what friends do. We talk. Hey.
It helped me. I mean, again, because I was just so into her that my relationship with God was weak, and I wasn't even really focused on him like I should have been because I was focused on her. It's so crazy how I was so infatuated with her when I look back on it. I mean, as a kid, I liked her through, like I said, through the adolescent puberty years where she had Jerry Carroll and
You don't have to keep repeating that.
I know, but I was just into this chick. I mean, Jerry Carroll juice, and she wasn't even calling her.
Y'all know we was rocking the back and they put the little headband on. Woo!
So it helped me. I started seeking God just like crazy, like mad, man. Just fasting, praying, talking to God, and God began to teach me about me.
So I started noticing Kenneth, you guys. One night he was ushering, and I just looked.
Talk about the chapter.
I know, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
So I started noticing him one night when he was ushering, and I just kind of looked up at him, and I was just like, "Dad, he's fine." Like, he was just so cute to me that night. I had never felt this way before, seriously, but just like all of a sudden, I was like, he is really cute. He is so cute, and he had his top 3 buttons undone like he has now. And I was just like, he is so cute. And he had been working out at the time. So his, this right here was just like, so he was just really cute at the time. I had an attraction to him. I had never had that before. So I was beginning to be attracted to him. And I just want to say this is important because sometimes we just say, just make sure he loves God and how they look don't matter. I'm sorry, but I feel like it does matter how they look. I often think about Daniel. The scripture talks about how he was attractive and how he looked. And if Daniel didn't even look a certain way, he wouldn't even been able to be in the king's, is it the king's palace or the king's? He wouldn't even been. He wouldn't even be able to stand before the king because of the way he looked. If he came in looking a mess and slouchy, and if he just wasn't cute at all, he probably wouldn't be in the same position. So I'm just saying it does matter how you look. I just want to say that it's very important. You have to have an attraction because if you guys get married, you are going to be sleeping with that individual. You want to wake up making sure you like what you see in the morning time. So I just want to say that really quick, but that's one way how he got my attention. I did become attracted to him.
I mean, and if you think about it, even the scriptures, God talks about how he's coming back for a bride who's made herself ready without spot, wrinkle, or blemish, or any such thing. So God even cares about how his bride looks. He tells us to be holy, all that kind of stuff. So the attraction is important. I love super spiritual people out there who say it doesn't matter. But you don't matter, may not matter to you, but it matters to me. And everybody's beauty's an eye of the beholder. So what everybody thinks is attraction is different, but make sure you're attracted to that.
Right.
If you like big gaps in the teeth, if you like super dark, whatever, get what you like.
Right. What I'm trying to say is just don't grab a man, ladies, because he's shouting in church. And he looks like he's towed from the neck up.
Tonight I've been looking at you, darling. I wonder why. All my life.
I'm just saying, don't do that. Maybe you like ugly men and that's fine if that's what you really want to do. But I'm saying don't overlook the fact that you may not, he's really not that cute, or you, don't do that. Don't even do, that's not even fair for you to do that to yourself. There should be an attraction.
I mean, not only to yourself, but to the individual. Because you don't want it to be that later on you really let them know you wasn't attracted to them. It was just because they're saying it's not fair to that person.
That's not good.
So, but then Lizzie, she started seeing the light, and so I was not going to be quick to just be like, okay, come on, let's be in a relationship. Because I had already got my heart broke. And when I say I was in love with God, I was seriously in love with God.
Hold my hand. I didn't break your heart, but hold my hand.
But when I say I was in love with God, I was seriously in love with God. I mean, like she said, I was busy in the church. We traveled with the youth choir, the praise. We had a 911 choir, inspirational choir then, I believe. So we traveled with that. I was in school. I was working 2 jobs. I was busy.
He was busy, really.
So I mean, I wasn't just I didn't have time to just sit around and think, oh, I want to get married, I want to sing, I want to get
Right.
married. I was busy.
Who does that?
And again, I just wanted to just jump. I mean, I had the upper hand. I felt like, so she was sending a little message to my sisters, and I was like, oh, she did? What'd she say? Hey, tell me if Lindsay said something about me today, okay? Tell me what she said.
It's puppy
So
love.
I'm just secretly trying to find out. So it eventually came to the time where I asked her out, and we went on a date. Our first date was to an art show. A client of mine invited me to an art show at that church, and I was like, I know Liz was into creative stuff as well, art like I was, so I was like, this would be a good time to take her to this art show with me. So I took her to the art show, and then afterwards we went to the Sonics in Hendersonville. Who goes to the Sonics? But it was our first little date.
Shout out Tim. Shout out Nick.
So we wasn't trying to rush it. We was just trying. It hadn't even established as a relationship yet. So I went to Sonics and afterwards, asked her if she liked the show, what have you. Just let her know I was thankful for her coming with me. So my question was, so I've been hearing these little whispers from my sisters. People telling me this, people telling me that. So what's up? Is it true? Because I was not about to get my face broke. I wasn't going to let her know that I secretly still had something in my heart for her. I was trying to see what she said first before I exposed my heart. And so she let me know, and I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm still trying to keep it cool, but on the instant I'm thinking, oh my God! Lindsay just said she really liked me. The one who just kept it on the DL, who wasn't studying me for years, the heavens are opened up and she is digging me. I saw the light, I saw the light, no more darkness. So we made a decision that night to start to get to know each other more. We're still friends, but now this is on a different level.
Different level.
So it started just, I guess as the old folks say, a courtship. It started our courtship, and so even with that, even though I knew her, I just still was not ready to just say this is my girl, because it just.
Wait, why not?
Well, I was, but just for us, marriage was serious. I mean, and then the way we was raised, if you're gonna be talking to somebody, courting, it better be a potential person to marry.
Right.
Don't just waste time just getting to know all these different people you really have no chance or idea to marry them. So we was just praying about it. Okay, we're gonna pray about it, take it really, really, really slow.
Really slow.
So we were praying about it, and it was just getting some encouraging words from the Lord that I should go this path, because He that find a wife find a good thing. And so I wanted the good thing. I was not going to be miserable for the rest of my life. So we began to seek God about it, whatever, and then we made a decision and we started the courtship. Our courtship story is unique from the perspective of it took us 3 years. We courted for 3 years.
By choice.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
By choice. Because again, we were still getting stuff together. I was in school, and she was still helping her family because her dad had got sick. And so we were just really busy. We just didn't want to rush into it because we felt like we were just ready to get married.
And again, I personally feel like it takes time. This is for the rest of my life. This is till death do us part. And you telling me I only have 1 to 2 to 3 months to get to know this man that I have intentions of dying with? It just didn't do too good for me. So we really took our time by choice, because there were just different things that we had going on individually too. But still keeping that bond, keeping tight, just to get to know each other, because like we said earlier, we were in church together a lot. So I wanted to get to know this Kenneth outside of church when he's not rejoicing or on his spiritual high. He needed to get to know me when I wasn't rejoicing and on my spiritual high. So we really took our time and just really got to know each other.
Yeah, and so that was a journey.
Yes, it was.
It took us 3 years. Like I said, we courted for 3 years, and I finally popped the question. And when I popped the question, we were engaged for 2. So we had like this
Who does that?
5-year pre-relationship.
Oh my God! Woo!
But one thing about it, and I thank God for it, that makes it, I guess, unique, and is that we never kissed,
Never been kissed.
nor did we have sex.
He was a perfect gentleman.
We were virgins before we got married.
Sweet Jesus.
The first day we kissed was on our wedding day. We are human. This is a very attractive woman. So I'm a natural man. I got desires, but I respected her. But above it, I loved God more than I loved her, because I didn't want to jeopardize my relationship with God by messing up, and that was. So we kept our parameters. I think all of our courtship, we had a chaperone. We either had a third person that called us, or we drove 2 separate cars when we went on a date somewhere. Just for that accountability. I know somebody might be like, oh my God, that's old school, just like the Duggars on TV. I don't know. Call it what you will.
Call
I'm
it what
serious.
you will, it works.
But I feel like it helped us.
Right.
The Bible says, put no confidence in your flesh. So I don't want to just think, well, we got this and we grown, like a lot of people do, and they end up falling a lot of times. I was trying to be careful. Again, we were both human. We had desires.
And so also with the courtship, one reason why we took so long and took our time was because we both really feel like we didn't have good examples in front of us. What I mean by that is just like kind of in our circle around. It seems like everybody was getting divorced. Just what we thought a marriage should be, we really didn't see that. So I know personally I was bothered and I was affected by that. Even in the church sometimes, what you thought marriage should be, it might not have been reflected before you. So it made me reluctant, it made me pull back a lot of times on even getting involved in a relationship. But when I got to the point and realized that my marriage could be different, the next one I kind of let down my guards and yielded and wanted to be in a relationship. But I just wanted to state that because somebody may be watching and may feel the same way that we did, may be afraid of getting married or may not have any good examples before you, but you can really be the one that makes that difference. So you have to make a decision within yourself. We study different books about marriage. We read the scriptures on marriage, what God was requiring, the purpose of it, the intention of it. We really studied a lot on marriage. I didn't go to a lot of people one-on-one, but I really read. I have so many books. This is a journal that I kept, oh my goodness, I think it's been dated back maybe before 2005. And I have a lot of notes in here from where I read different books and just different things me and Kenneth went through during our courtship and whatnot, different poems and things that we did. I kind of got recorded in here, but
I mean, that is a good point, because like she said, we just didn't see a lot of, we just didn't see, like when you see somebody on TV and you see certain careers and you be like, oh my God, I want to get a career like that. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a hairstylist or Kim, whatever. It makes you just want to, like, I got to do that. But when it came to marriage and our world and our culture, we just didn't see a lot of people seeming as if they were enjoying it.
yeah.
They were almost enduring it more so than enjoying it.
Yeah.
So that made us really take our time, because I don't want to be with this person for the rest of my life and be miserable.
Right. It wasn't advertised well for us.
Exactly. I guess is the perfect word. The marketing was a little off. So we just took our time, and so that's why we were courting for 3 years. It wasn't like we didn't. I wanted to be sure. Again, Lindsay was my friend, but outside of church and school, I want to know who was she? I mean, we had a season where we wasn't talking a lot. I mean, because I was busy, she was busy, so we still knew each other, still communicated, but just having long conversations, we didn't have a lot of time for that. It's like we did when we were younger. So people evolve, people change. She's a grown woman now, so I'm like, what is she like? So during that courtship, we did a lot. I mean, somebody probably thinking, how can y'all be courting for 3 years and engaged for 2? What in the world did y'all do that long?
Without being physically involved.
Exactly, because you can only go to the movies for so long before you eventually start touching. So when we did do that, we went to the movies. I made up games. We played games. We went skating, I think, a couple times. We went on walks. We went I know a couple of times we went out to eat. We did that. We know what black people eat. So we went out to eat. We one season, just during our courtship, we just really got into poetry. Am I saying that right? We started writing poetry a lot to express how we felt toward one another. That was, to me, like a God moment. I feel like God helped us do that, just to express how we felt without being physical. I mean, so we were just verbally just talking how we felt about it, what my thoughts toward her were. And that was a safe method. It was like a clean, safe method. And I feel like God was pleased with that.
Kenneth is not mentioned until he was over the drama department at our church, so he still was involved and active in writing plays, writing skits, and putting these big performances together. So I remember one night, me and him are at the church. I think I'm cutting out styrofoam for letters or something. We're trying to get ready to help him with one of his presentations. So we just really stayed busy, and we stayed grounded and wanted to keep our activities, keep them focused without, again, being physically involved. But I'm just saying too, when you have a heart for God, when you truly love God, if you're really trying to do it the way God is saying, there is a way out. You just want to take precaution, be careful. If you have to take a chaperone, do so. But I know in my heart, because I wanted to work and I wanted to go before God blameless with this thing right here, because this is to death do us part, I just wanted to do it the right way. And I'm so glad that we did. We have a son and a daughter now, and we can say, look, mommy and daddy did it this way. God honored us, and look at the favor of God that is on our life. So young ladies, I know I'm veering a little bit, but I just want to take a minute or two to encourage you too. God will honor you. God will bless you if you hold on to that. If you do it according to his word and his statutes and his commandments. God is still requiring holiness. God is still requiring to be pure and before him. So I just want to encourage you to strive to do that. And if you're in a relationship and the other person is making you feel pressured, then he just may not be the one for you. She may not be the one for you. So just want to say that.
And I think during our whole process of time, we broke up twice. I think during our courtship we broke up once.
Because I had to give you time to get yourself together. It was something you was working on.
For the first time, it was Lindsay. I think we broke up twice. 3 times actually. No, I think we postponed the wedding one time and we broke up twice. Just trying to get to know this chick right here. She's just, women have layers, and I was just,
Amen.
Just the surface of the layers, and whoo, sometimes the process was difficult.
Amen. Again, we're still finding ourselves, finding who we are. We're still evolving, even through courtship, so you have to give me leeway to do that. Ain't you glad you endured?
I'm glad I endured. I mean, she was worth the work. So
I was what?
She was worth the work.
Okay.
Because I had to work hard to get her.
I had to make sure he knew what he was getting into if he can hang with me now.
Yeah. But so we were engaged for 2 years. We were engaged for 2 years, and so we postponed the wedding one time because we was probably maybe like 2 months away. We was really close to getting ready to get married, and we postponed it because I just wasn't ready. You would think that after all this time that I would have been prepared. I was getting myself together, but I didn't really have my stuff together. I didn't really have enough money like I wanted. I didn't really have a house. We were gonna get an apartment, and we were just gonna do it so we can go ahead and solidify it and get this thing rolling. But that's not how I wanted to start. So I had talked to some spiritual mentors that were in our life at the time, and they just encouraged me to wait. So I just needed that little push. So we postponed the wedding, I think, until the next following year. And so from then on, I started preparing. The Lord bless, I bought a house. We were going to get an apartment, but I bought a house. And so I bought a house, then I bought a brand new car. And then while I was in the house, I bought a bedroom suite, a living room suite, an iron, a microwave, and I had a wash and dryer, and I had a kitchen table. I just bought the necessities.
I'm so proud of him, y'all. This brother was preparing for his
So I just feel like I wasn't trying to furnish the whole house. I was trying to get the basics. And so I started making house payments or whatever, got comfortable doing that. Then I bought a car because I wanted us to be able to travel somewhere, not to worry about the car breaking down. And God bless me through all that process. We went into the house. I didn't have a lot of bills. I had a mortgage and maybe a school loan or something. But we started off on a good path, because you got to think about it. If you're struggling when you start, and a lot of times, sometimes that journey can be prevented if you just wait.
Just wait.
And I know for some people the waiting process is a little bit difficult. I'm not telling nobody to wait 5 years like we did. I know for some people they have been a little bit more exposed and indulged in some stuff, so the process can be a little bit hard to wait. But if you can, just try to get somebody to help you and wait as much as possible just to get stuff together. Because I knew she was living with her mom and dad, helping take care of the family. So I felt like if she gets with me, then her life should be an upgrade.
Let me upgrade you.
I don't want her to come to my house and still have to struggle like she did and help pay all the bills like she was at home. If she came with me, I want her to get some type of relief.